We're back.
And deader than ever.
I'm Kelley.
I'm Tamara.
And this is
Ghoulbeans.
I wanted to tell you something and now I can't remember because we were talking for too long.
About
How are you?
Ghoulbean?
No.
It'll come back.
Yeah, it'll come back. I like your sweatshirt.
Thanks.
I'm looking at it. I like it.
I thought that you had you were having an experience because moments before we recorded, Kelley thought I had a cat in my lap. I don't.
It was a blanket.
Thank God. Has it been spooky at your apartment?
No, it's been fine, actually.
Great.
They're taking the holidays off, I guess.
Love that for them. I'm just happy to see you.
Me too.
It's been...
I'm happy that your finals are almost over.
They're almost. They're halfway done.
And then we can hang out. I'm going to see you Saturday. I have a Christmas present for you, but I don't know if it'll be in by Saturday. But I'm excited. You know how I get.
I know how you get.
I'm the person that like buys a gift and immediately turns to the person and is like, guess what I got you.
Literally me. I saw something on Amazon, like I can't resist. And then I bought it, and then it's for sewing.
Yeah.
And they were sewing, and I was like, do you want your present? And they're like, no, like, let's wait, you know, da da da. I'm like, no, but it would be so helpful. Not me, like, trying to get them to open it.
Right. Right. Forcing, really.
They did.
What are you drinking?
What do you think I'm drinking?
Papa Nicholas.
Oh, yes. I love him.
Papa's back. Papa's back in town.
I love him. He's the one man that's ever been there for me.
Same flavor, same vibe.
Yeah. Although we have this like zester.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been like freshly zesting a cinnamon stick.
Look at you. Look at you.
Oh my God. It makes a difference, like peppercorns. It makes a difference.
That's incredible.
I have a question for you.
People. Yeah.
What's your Olive Garden order?
My Olive Garden order is a lot of the times endless soup and salad.
Mm-hmm. What soup?
The chicken gnocchi.
Okay.
I love a cup of cream.
One thing about you, you're gonna fuck up a cup of cream.
If you put cheese and cream in any kind of arrangement, it will be inside of me.
I get the zuppa toscana.
Mm-hmm. That is not like the normal, in my experience. That's not the one that like people fuck with a lot.
I noticed that people like the bean one.
Yeah, the pasta fagioli.
And I feel, to me, it's wrong and unacceptable, like strawberries in a salad.
I love a strawberry. What about a tangerine in a salad?
Disgusting.
Chomp, chomp.
Mm-mm. It does not go there.
It does sometimes. So yours is beans and soup? You can't handle a bean soup?
I can't. Not that bean soup. Like, if the bean is blended.
So, like the black bean soup that literally just looks like tar?
I love black bean soup.
See, you can't come at me and say, I don't like the pasta fagioli.
That's like you're eating little beans.
Olive Garden.
You may as well just have
let me
a
sip
can of
on
baked
this
beans.
Bean paste. Let me sip on this watery bean milk.
It's not watery.
It's not watery, and that's a problem. What?
The ghost is upset.
Is it the beans, you think? You think they're for or against bean soup?
I think that they don't like Olive Garden.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I feel like that's actually... I don't like it now.
We live so close to an Olive Garden that sometimes we're like, should we just go to Olive Garden?
You absolutely should. If you ever have the thought, should we go to Olive Garden? That's a yes. That's intuition knocking at your door.
I agree, and it's a good deal if you can make yourself eat more than one thing of soup.
And you know I do. I walk out of there feeling as disgusting as I should.
Thank you. It's almost like craving embarrassment. Like, maybe I have a humiliation kink.
Do you... Do you remember... I don't know if
I
you
don't.
do. That
for the
used
pod.
to be...
I'll cry. Do not humiliate me.
Do you remember when, like, Olive Garden was, like, a little more upscale moment for the fam bam?
Of course. I remember having to wear Sunday best to Olive Garden. And I knew something was wrong then because other people would be in flops. And I'd be like, why did I have to wear my little Sunday dress?
Why am I dressed to the nines in this
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden?
And then when you're a teenager even, you're still a little bit like, oh, Olive Garden's fancy. Why was I in a full beat at an Olive Garden?
I think it's the chocolate mints at the end, honestly.
I think it was the Tuscan murals on the walls. The wrought iron.
The little half brick wall that they
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. The fireplace in every room.
Yeah. It's a trip to Italy on a budget.
I was there and I was family. And they play music in there that's so corny. Like, everybody... I wonder, does Olive Garden exist in other countries?
Oh, does Olive Garden exist in, like, other states? Don't look at me like I should know. I don't know if they've gone national.
Of course. That is not an Illinois thing.
Are you sure?
Yes. Although that would be iconic.
Listen, under what states is weed legal in? What states is Olive Garden is the number 2 search, just so you know.
Exactly.
It's literally all over. It couldn't be more on the map. It's basically the mountain range map.
That's our Valentine's Day tradition. We go to Olive Garden.
That's incredible.
We get drunk in Olive Garden on peach bellinis.
I want to do that.
You should. It's incredible.
I love Olive Garden. Their sangria. I like their little sangries too.
They were extra popular because they would come by the table with their little, like, samplers.
Oh my god. The cheese, man. He's asking me when to stop. It's a dangerous game.
We might be here all day, sir.
You basically just entered a staring contest.
Why is he looking at you?
He's begging me to say stop.
He's crying.
He's like, please, we're out of cheese. I'm like, go get another.
The Jewel's up the block.
Give me a bag of Papa Nichols.
Oh, for real.
I'm drinking Mount Comfort Coffee, the Peru blend.
It's a pretty bag.
It is a pretty bag for no one who can't see, but it's a little camping motif. It is not from Woodman's. It's from Costco.
Wow.
Yes. It's good. It's alright. Like, I'm not gonna rave about it. It's a medium roast, and apparently it's from 1,200 to 1,400 meters high, where the bean grows, I guess.
Wow.
And that's about all I got. But it's okay. It's
fine.
It's fine. It's fine. But I like coffee, so I will continue to drink it.
Yeah, it's just like, it's coffee.
Has there ever been, like, a coffee that you could not finish drinking? Like, I know sometimes Dunkin', like, has their cigarette water days, but, like, more so, like, a typical brand, like, a brand that's, like, every time I have it, it's ass, you know?
Oh, there is a certain bean, at certain coffee shops out here, that if I see that they have it, I don't want to slander them, but Metropolis.
Oh,
I do not fuck with this brand, and if we go to a coffee shop and I see, like, oh, beans from this place, I'm like, never mind.
Don't even. I don't even want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
That's fair. There's been, like, different hotel coffees that I'm like, yeah, but
Yeah. I mean, that's different, though.
it is different. I guess there is a brand similar in hotels that are very popular now. Like the Ingenious or the like starts with an I or something.
Intelligentsia?
Yeah, I do not like Intelligentsia.
We love Intelligentsia.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just like obviously moldy hotel coffee makers.
Yeah. I always feel like I'm never going to make the coffee or have coffee better than in a coffee shop that knows what the fuck they're doing.
For sure.
But in coffee shops that know what the fuck they're doing, the brand that I don't like, it's still like, to me, I'm like, it's so like, it zips me in the mouth and I don't like that.
Yeah. And I haven't tried that one brand. I haven't tried it anywhere where like they're making good coffee. So I should try that before I declare not liking it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a little local lore today.
Oh yeah, today's a local lore and we decided to do Illinois. We came back.
We Mama's come home. Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
A little special.
So I decided to do Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, and I don't know if you. I have never been there.
No, me neither.
But apparently, there's like a forest preserve.
No, ma'am.
Which means that we have to go.
No, ma'am.
Yes, it's in Cook County. Where the last time we went to a forest preserve that also had a cemetery was Potato Creek. And I often think of that with fond memories.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was fun and spooky.
Very spooky.
Okay, so let's begin with a little background. The settlement at Bachelor's Grove began as early as the late 1820s, with larger numbers of immigrants arriving in the 1830s and 1840s. The initial settlers were generally American Yankees of Irish, English, and Scottish descent, most of whom came here from New York, Vermont, and Connecticut. The cemetery is one of the oldest cemeteries in South Cook County. It is located in Bremen Township, Cook County, Illinois, on the 143rd Street, 3/10 of a mile east of Bridgeland Avenue. The cemetery has been inactive since 1989.
Oh, wow.
Legend has it that the cemetery got its name because only men were buried here, but actually it came from the name of a family who settled in the area. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery was established no later than November 1844 with the burial of Miss Eliza Scott, though some sources allude to the burials having taken place on the grounds as early as 1836. The cemetery was founded by Edward M. Everden, with some land possibly added years later by Frederick Schmidt, though hard evidence of the Schmidt edition has eluded researchers.
You think you'd be able to, like, track where people are buried?
No, and it says that, like, sources allude to burials taking place as early as 1836. There's no, like, headstones. So how do we, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, there's no headstones that early.
Yeah.
Prior to World War II, the cemetery was a typical small township cemetery. In the days when picnicking in cemeteries was fashionable, family members would picnic on the grounds. Some would also fish or swim in the former dock. After World War II, however, things changed, and not for the better. Many family members of those buried in the cemetery moved out of the area and no longer visited. When the Midlothian Turnpike was realigned into 143rd Street, the former routing became a lover's lane, a place frequented by teenagers, drinking underage and otherwise misbehaving. The trustees of the cemetery tried to get a new entrance to 143rd Street after the old alignment of the Midlothian Turnpike was closed. However, they were unable to gain a required easement from the Cook County Forest Preserve. It was also at this time that reports of paranormal activity surrounding the cemetery and nearby Midlothian truly began to spike.
Oh, no.
Peaking in the 1970s.
Okay.
I know. This combination of an isolated rural location, not routinely patrolled by the sheriff's police, and reputation as a haunted area, drew many people in whose interests were demonstrably not in the interests of the cemetery.
Okay, so like vandals and stuff?
I guess.
Partiers and whatnot?
The vandalism of graves became almost routine. Almost all of the headstones were vandalized and broken. Some headstones were partially or entirely thrown into the flooded quarry.
Oh my god,
Others
I was
were
right.
Others were removed from the property, some being recovered by police departments as far away as Maywood, Evergreen Park, and Chicago.
I have never walked through a cemetery and been like, let me steal this headstone.
In my life.
Never.
Evidence of the performance of satanic rituals has been found in the cemetery, along with evidence of attempts to open and rob graves. This undesirable conduct was not performed by, caused directly by, or condoned by legitimate paranormal researchers. However, the same rumors and reports that attracted legit paranormal researchers also attracted those whose behavior was not up to standards.
Like us.
We have never robbed a grave.
No. But for our paranormal researching standards.
I guess. Just beyond the rear barrier of the cemetery wall is a small, stagnant pond. This pond, while outside of the graveyard, is still not untouched by the horror connected to the place. One night in the late 1970s, 2 Cook County Forest Preserve officers were on night patrol near here and claimed to see the apparition of a horse emerge from the waters of the pond. The animal appeared to be pulling a plow behind it that was steered by the ghost of an old man. The vision crossed the road in front of the ranger's vehicle. It was framed for a moment in the glare of their headlights and then vanished into the forest. The men simply stared in shock for a moment and then looked at one another to be sure that they had both seen the same thing. They later reported the incident and since then have not been the last to see the old man and the horse.
Oh my god. What would you do?
Pass out. Run. We've said this before. Little did the rangers know, but this apparition was actually part of an old legend connected to the pond. It seems that in the 1870s, a farmer was plowing nearby a field when something startled his horse. The farmer was caught by surprise and became tangled in the reins. He was dragged behind the horse and it plunged into the small pond. Unable to free himself, he was drowned in the murky water by the weight of the horse and the plow.
Oh my god.
Clarence Fulton approached Bremen Township as early as 1967, sought to take over management and take care of the cemetery, but he was turned down. While there was a cemetery association, it was never formally incorporated, and all its assets beyond the cemetery itself had long been spent coping with the highly destructive vandalism that the cemetery suffered. It was discovered at that time that the plot sales had not been correctly documented with the county, and that the title to the land probably still rested in the hands of descendants of Edward M. Everett. Cook County obtained clear title to the cemetery by condemnation. That sucks.
Yeah.
It's also, like, such a breeding ground for bad energy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Though in intergovernmental agreements, responsibility for the maintenance is shared with Cook County Forest Preserve, whose land surrounds the cemetery. Several groups have over the more recent years donated labor to maintaining Bachelor's Grove. However, beyond keeping the property somewhat less overgrown, they haven't been able to accomplish much. Between the difficulty of navigating the bureaucracy of Cook County government and the conflicts with each other as to what the cemetery should be used for, no headstone maintenance or other work beyond brush and trash has been accomplished by anyone.
Damn, so they've just let this place fall apart.
Yes. They've let the place fall apart. It was already condemned to begin with, and other than clearing the brush around it, they haven't taken care of it.
Aww.
So now, I have another little ghost story of a popular apparition. Now, this is of the ghost called the Madonna.
Okay.
According to Bachelor's Grove Forever, that's the name of the blog, I guess, sightings of the Madonna of the Grove began in the late 1970s, when a caller to a radio show reported having taken a picture of a, quote, shrouded figure carrying a baby, while dressed in what resembled a nun's habit.
Ew. I just got
It's
full
disgusting.
body chills.
Reports of apparitions of the White Lady. What the fuck? Okay.
What?
How long have we been recording? On your end.
29.
Mine says 27. There's 2 minutes that were cut out.
No.
Yes, mine says 27, almost 28 now.
I'm back recording.
So, for the listeners at home, I don't know what to say.
What is there to say?
The audio cut out, and this was a story I was like, oh, this week, it's not a super scary week. Like, I just found this, and I picked it because there's good ghost stories. And then the audio cut out with clicking, and there's 2 minutes of my audio cut out.
Oh my god.
So
that's fun.
I'm just gonna reread
The cursed story.
the story that it cut out. According to Bachelor's Grove Forever, sightings of the Madonna of the Grove began in the late 1970s when a caller to a radio show reported having taken a picture of a, quote, shrouded figure carrying a baby, while dressed in what resembled a nun's habit. Okay, spooky, scary nun in a cemetery?
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Hate that.
Hate that. Reports of apparitions of the White Lady typically follow a similar description. She is a woman with dark hair dressed in a long, old-fashioned dress or dressing gown, usually described as white, either carrying an infant or laying flowers on a gravestone, or wandering around aimlessly, which is often interpreted by witnesses as looking for her baby. The image of a ghost that has been subsequently identified with the Madonna of the Grove gained international attention after a photo taken by Ghost Research Society member Judy Huff Fells in 1991 was published in both the Chicago Sun-Times and the National Examiner. Which I would like to see.
Are you gonna look it up?
I probably will after.
You should look up right now.
No, fuck you. According to the Chicago Tribune, one of the most visited gravestones at Bachelor's Grove is one that merely reads, Infant Daughter, which receives numerous offerings from visitors in the forms of flowers, toys, and crosses. In many versions of the Madonna legend, this is understood to be the marker of the baby the Madonna is seen either carrying or searching for. This marker belongs to Marcia May, the daughter of Catherine Vogt Fulton. Apparently, at the time of the baby's death, there was bad blood between her mother's family and the Vogts, and her father's family, the Fultons. As such, a Fulton baby was not allowed to be buried on Vogt land, so was interred by the Fulton family plot at Bachelor's Grove, buried far away from her mother.
Why?
So fucked up. So that's about the Madonna, and I do believe I have a Reddit, testimonial.
Okay.
Our faves.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's recording, thank God.
Everyone's having a good time.
That's horrible that they buried her so far from her daughter.
Yeah, the whole thing sucks. I'm glad that people, leave little gifts and loving things there, because that's so horrible. I don't know if she was buried in the mom's family cemetery. Why did they have to bury her so far away from the mom?
Because the mom was a Vogt.
I hear you. That's sad.
So it's just called Bachelor's Grove by Reddit user. It's from 11 months ago.
Okay, that's cool.
By Reddit user Lauren Liza. I visited the cemetery with a couple of friends in the spring of 2017. We arrived there around 6:30 p.m., parked at the small lot across the road from the cemetery, and made our way over. I was in a photography class at the time and brought a school-issued camera with me to take pictures. Ooh, make note of that.
Yeah.
Walking into the cemetery felt sort of overwhelming, like we had walked into a lively party where everyone suddenly went quiet and stared at us, even though we were the only ones there.
Yuck.
I took some pictures in the cemetery, and after a while we decided to walk deeper into the woods. This would turn out to be a mistake. As the three of us walked along the creek, I couldn't shake the sense of unease that was settling in. Despite it still being pretty light out and due to being early spring, the leaves hadn't grown back, so we could see pretty far in every direction. Something that still creeps me out about this place is the lack of sound. I listened for the chirps and scurries of wild animals, but the only sound in the woods was our footsteps in the leaves and the creek. Literally us at Potato Creek.
Yeah.
Except we heard, shuffling.
Yeah, and whatever was plopping into the water.
Plopping? They cannonballed, bitch. That was... I'm so glad that you didn't hear the first one, because that would have, it would have been too much.
I would have jumped into the water.
My camera, fully charged, died a few times. When I turned it back on, it still had full battery.
Ew.
We came across multiple round clearings in the woods. There are rumors of dark magic and rituals taking place here, so at the time I attributed it to that. There was a picnic bench in one of the clearings, and I took a picture of my friends on my cell phone, standing on the bench part. They were smiling, and when I took the photo, their faces were distorted.
Oh,
My female
no.
friend appeared sad and scared, and my male friend appeared angry, but they were perfectly fine. I have
Ew.
chills.
I literally am freezing. Like, what the hell?
A few minutes after taking that picture, my phone mysteriously went missing, and we searched all over the area. We were still right by the picnic bench, so we figured it couldn't be far. Until the sun started to go down, and we realized we needed to get the hell out of there. We ditched the phone, and my female friend managed to lead us out. As we were leaving, I saw a completely black shadow figure with a brimmed hat walking parallel to us, maybe 10 feet into the woods. He was walking through dense woods and made no sound. I'm like gonna start crying.
Honestly, like, what the hell? Also, who just leaves their phone?
This was 2017, and if it's getting dark enough and you're scared and there's like dark rituals and shit, I would be like, fuck the phone.
That's fine. That's fair.
He was walking through dense woods and made no sound. I have no idea why I didn't react in the moment, but when I asked my male friend about this later, he said he saw it too.
Ugh.
When we got back to my house, some unfortunate events went down with my family that were most likely inevitable, but I think the energy I brought back certainly could have contributed. When I brought the camera to my room, the energy seemed to shift, and I saw several figures and anomalies as I scrolled through the photos. I deleted them all right then. Everything felt more normal after that, though the energy in my living room, where my family thing happened, was off until we moved out. Even my completely skeptical mother admitted that the lighting looked wrong and things felt off in that room after this.
Oh my god.
I'm still interested in haunted places and the paranormal, but this experience made me wary of those things. There is a comment.
I can't believe you said it's not that scary.
I never, like, I didn't think it's not that scary, but like people's encounters are scary.
Yeah.
This says, been there on a few occasions. Yes, I confirm there is an uneasy stillness in the grove and the walk up to it, specifically from the path off the Midlothian Turnpike. The surrounding woods are incredibly dense, too. I don't know what's going on there, but it's there. I've read that the woods were actually inhabited by several small towns at one point, and eventually consolidated to a larger town. The home's foundations, even rudimentary plumbing, can be found in the woods.
Ew.
So that is Bachelor's Grove Cemetery.
That
Are we
is
going? Yes, we
so
have to go.
scary. Yeah, that's fine. I wish it wasn't in, like, woods. I think that scares me a lot, obviously.
This person says, experiences, a couple actually, in Chicago's Bachelor Grove Cemetery. Do we want to, or do you want to do yours?
No, do it.
Okay. Okay, hang on. Do you want to be held? Was reading various spooky stuff online one of those nights, and stumbled in here. Felt like sharing. Not very active on Reddit, more of a browser, but I feel like others may appreciate this. So Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is quite a well-known place here in the Chicago area. A very old, rather small cemetery that is seemingly forgotten. Overgrown, gravestones, crumbling, all next to a large swamp. When we arrived, in 3 separate cars, we realized the parking lots for the adjacent park grounds were all closed for the night. And of course there's no lot for the cemetery. So we went to a local 7-Eleven about a mile and a half north of the cemetery. The lot was empty, and the clerk in the store said he's fine with us parking. And so it begins.
Ew, they walked a mile and a half. That means you have to run a mile and a half back.
And I'm running.
Yeah.
We make the trek south. No sidewalks in this area, so we were walking along the side of the road. Surprisingly, not a single car passed the entire time we were walking.
Yeah.
Everything was just quiet. That's the 3rd time someone has said that it's like deadly quiet.
So nothing, like no bugs or animals are like living around there because of all the bad juju, I feel like.
We finally reached the opening to the cemetery, which is just a few yellow posts and a dainty chain draped across. They give you the Google coordinates because it's not, like, marketed.
Oh
They,
my
like, put the
gosh.
Google coordinates.
Ugh.
Passing through this, you start down a long trail into the woods that is eclipsed by a canopy of trees across its length, blocking most of the already dim streetlights. We got a pretty far distance into this trail when we came across a branching path that was basically pitch black and had a similar canopy from trees and bushes. It was only about 5 feet high or so. Everyone was spooked, but I generally love anything creepy and exploring that sort of thing, so I ventured in as my friends made various comments about how much of a nope that move was. I went through for maybe about a minute or two and cleared the canopy only to see a wooden porch of a house with a lantern by the door. What? Figuring I may be trespassing on property of the people who may tend the cemetery or something, I turned back, though we were already technically trespassing. I told my friends it was nothing, and we moved along to the actual cemetery. That's not what I would have done.
No, I would have moved along right back to my goddamn car.
I would have never walked a mile and a half.
I would have never parked in 7-Eleven.
Can you hear her?
Yeah. She's very loud. She's adorable.
You won't be able to hear her on the mic, though, I don't think.
I hope so you can.
No, you can't. I'm looking.
Oh.
Okay. Really cool place. Amazing overgrown scenery next to the swamp. Plenty of old gravestones. Got tons of nighttime photos. Overall great experience. When we finally left, we were passed by what seemed like a dozen cars on the way back. Seemingly, we had entered back into civilization after our adventure. Fast forward to the next day. Going through the pictures. I find what appears to be like a subtle outline of a woman holding what seems to be a baby.
Oh no.
Pretty psyched by this. It's not clear, oh, that's a ghost type of picture, just a blur of white that roughly resembles a silhouette of a woman holding a baby, which I thought was kind of cool looking. Show it to my friends, who turned to me to show their pictures, one of which is a headstone that has nothing on it except the words, infant daughter. Toys scattered all over the headstone and on the ground from various visitors. We look it up, and it turns out the woman has been dubbed the Madonna. They say it's a woman in white that appears to be holding a baby. Super spooked. Fast forward again, roughly 6 years. The pictures taken were misplaced and I have nothing to show for the visit, but me and my friends fondly talk about that night when chatting about anything spooky. My mother, who I told all of this to right after it happened, bought a Chicago haunted book. This is still 6 years later, with a list of multiple haunted places in the city, and supposedly what happens in these places. She's looking through the book and I'm watching TV and all I hear is, holy shit! I look up and she's staring at me. I bite and ask, what'd you find? She reads a portion about Bachelor's Grove Cemetery that describes one of the things people say happens here, which is a farmhouse appears for some, with a glowing light emanating from it. Evidently, the location varies, and sometimes it moves farther from people as they approach it, and ultimately vanishes upon exiting the cemetery. Some say if you enter, you never come out. You know, the typical spooky stuff. But my mom was freaking out because she remembered me mentioning it, that I had gone up to a house with a light and left casually as to not get caught.
She spooked you.
Mm-hmm. She did. She got me. Aww. She's mommy's baby. Let's see. This isn't a house that there are people just tell spooky stories about. Another tidbit about it is that there's no record of any houses being anywhere on the cemetery grounds or even near it.
Oh.
I've been back once during the day, and there's no 5-foot path into the woods.
Oh.
No house anywhere in the cemetery. I thought the picture I got was pretty cool. Finding out that a house I saw and talked about casually over the years, various people have said that it doesn't exist, gave me chills.
Yeah, that made me a little bit nauseous, honestly. Like, real talk, that's horrifying.
That's like the barn on Cuba Road.
Yeah. No. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh, okay. This person says, in response to them, finally something I can talk about. Me and my friends all went to DeVry and Tinley, so we were super close to it. Anyway, we've gone at least 10 times and haven't gotten much evidence. The only thing I've seen is a piano wire at neck height. And once we heard a metal on metal sound, like someone had a hammer and was hitting a gate. I've taken 100 pictures with little to show for it. I've also conducted Ouija board sessions.
Oh, girl.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Piano wire at neck height? That's fucking horrifying.
Oh my god, people are really freaked out by it.
I am too. We're not going, I decided.
We said we weren't going to go to Potato Creek and then we went.
I'm not going to Bachelor's Grove.
Ew. There's definitely, like, people who go in there and do, like, witchcraft satanic shit.
Absolutely.
Not all witchcraft is satanic or whatever, but it's just, like, there are...
No, but there is certain witchcraft that is geared towards the darker.
Exactly. So many signs that I'm reading that, like, this person said that they saw a stuffed animal head on a noose, like, way deep into the forest.
Ugh. You know, it doesn't help either that, like, there's gonna be people, like, doing shit also that, I mean, you know, already, like, satanic cults or dark magic or whatever, that's, like, very much, very bad. Like,
yeah.
But there's also gonna be just, like, stupid kids going in there and fucking around and doing Ouija board stuff.
Know.
So, like, that's also gonna bring a lot of bad energy.
This person said that they went camping there, or not camping there, but they just, like, went there. They even provided, like, pictures of them in 2001, like, being there at night. And then they said it was not all peachy keen throughout the night, though. I had heard of shadow figures and hooded figures, and I was naturally worried about ritual abuse and devil worshippers that are rumored to be about the area. What I did see was hovering hooded figures moving back and forth through the fence area, paying particular attention to the entrance. They zoomed back and forth over and over, and that made me really nervous. They seemed more like guardians than antagonists. What made me more nervous was that I began hearing animals screaming.
Oh my god.
I specifically heard a dog screaming in pain and felt like it was very close to me, but I couldn't see it. The dog didn't seem to want to hurt me, but I did not move from my spot as she was sitting at one of the gravestones until the sun came up.
How do you do that? How do you see little guys zooting around and you're like, I'll just stay here?
Just before that happened, it was as if a dimmer switch had turned everything down. It all faded from view as the crack of dawn only slightly began to creep. Yes. So it's nighttime. Shit gets spooky. At which point I walked to a nearby diner, had breakfast, and came back to the cemetery to take pictures with a disposable camera. Naturally, not one photo came out. They were all completely black.
Oh my god, this person's a psychopath.
They said, I would like to add that this experience was so profound to me that it slowly became the impetus for me to become a psychic as well, and a certified hypnotherapist. Like, this literally, like, changed the course of their life.
I mean, it has to, because why? What? That's, like, not... Oh my god, I can't not.
I literally did not know it was this scary.
I am so disgusted. I'm so cold. I am so scared. Like,
I swear to God I didn't know.
And, like, I mean, that's the thing, is obviously some hardcore shit is happening there. But, like, they also have, like, satanic worshipers or cult stuff going on. So you also have to worry about, like, human beings as well, you know?
It's giving a combination, like, definitely a combination of things, like how you're saying is going on. But to me, it's...
Screaming. Animals screaming.
Animals screaming. It's just my cat. I really need to do this. It's a multi-layered thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm always more scared of the human beings that could be in there. Always. Right. And yet, this is giving, like, portal vibes.
Definitely. Definitely.
Oh my god.
Look at what you stumbled upon. Yuck. Yuck. So I'm not going there, and that's a fact.
Cut to us at the front of Bachelor Woods.
Guess where we are.
We have our little travel mics now.
We do. We could go there. I'm not staying there at night, though.
No, but I do think we have to be like sunset vibes.
No.
That's when shit gets real.
Well, that was terrifying. Okay, so, oh my god, I have to, like, detox. This is what it is. This will be a nice little detox for everyone.
Yeah.
A little spooky story that is not terrifying. So I did O'Henry's Roadhouse building. It is 20 miles south of Chicago in Willow Springs. Have you ever heard of Willow Springs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is currently the site of the Irish Legend, which is a pub, sports bar, and restaurant. But it originated as O'Henry's Roadhouse, then became O'Henry's 2, then Cavallone's West, then Rico D's, and then
it's another one of these.
Frankie's Pizza Roadhouse, and then finally, it kind of got really dilapidated and abandoned, and then whoever owns the Irish Legend really, I guess, brought it back. So, the history of this location is that it was, of like Willow Springs even, it's in the Des Plaines Rivers Valley. It's on an upland moraine, which is just like rolling hills basically, and that's formed by ice age glaciers. And so it's like the deeper rolling hills instead of just like the flat Illinois that we know. Oh my god, what just happened?
Shit went down.
What happened?
Everything disconnected for a second. I was like, let me just ignore it.
I know, you were like frozen in place. It was like if something smacked your microphone. Okay. This is interesting. It is known by geologists as Mount Forest Island, and Native Americans used to bury their dead here. Interestingly enough, there's not one Native American ghost there because Native American burial grounds is not the cause of all white people hauntings, just to clarify.
Always. You know how we're team, like, if that were true, they'd all be dead.
For
all
sure.
The white people would be dead.
Exactly. So, really beautiful, sacred land, probably just from, like, its beautiful, I don't know, location, but yeah, no curses or anything, as Hollywood would like you to believe. So in 1850,
Hollywood would like you to believe that every ghost that has ever existed is a Native American.
Absolutely, they're stupid. So in 1854, Chicagoans declared this area as a great picnic spot, known as Spadis Grove. And then by 1883, the railroad reached from Chicago to Willow Springs with the construction of the canal not far behind. And this encouraged population growth between 1892 and 1899. The population was made up of mostly Italians, Germans, Polish, and Irish, with ice harvesting as the booming business. I didn't know ice harvesting was like the move, but
we've heard about this.
From the Dole Mansion.
Like, yeah, that episode where we did the Dole Mansion and the, it's like...
And it's in Frozen.
Oh. No, that one and... Well, yeah, it's in Frozen. But also, there's another one over in Crystal Lake that we did that was like Spring Grove, and it was like where Al Capone was, it was like his like suburban hideaway.
Yeah, well, a little spoiler alert, Al Capone loves this place too. It's gotten to the point where I feel like Al Capone, like...
There was 7 of them?
Yeah, like, what did he do? You know, like, it sounds like he was just, like, leisurely hanging around a lot of places, a lot of pubs.
I think, yeah, like, we've talked about this too, where it's like, he like low key couldn't settle down in any spot because he was being actively hunted.
Yeah.
So I think that like him bopping around was 75% of his time.
Yeah, seriously.
Honestly,
So
goals. I wish.
I wish bopping around was my safety net.
Yeah, seriously.
So with that profit flowing through Willow Springs with the ice harvesting, more unsavory business started to move down towards there from Chicago, such as gambling, drinking, and prostitution. This was especially the cause because there was no police department set up in this area or even near it. The closest was the Cook County Police, which was, again, 20 miles away. And they were exhausted with all of the gangsters. So in the 1920s, a large gangster-like presence was in Willow Springs due to the illegal business and no police. Especially when Prohibition hit, Willow Springs became a staple for all speakeasies. O. Henry's Roadhouse was established just before 1920s, somewhere between the 1915 and 1918. And it is a 2-story brick building with a large attic and a large basement. And it housed all of the illegal activities one could hope for, being nicknamed the Pleasure Palace.
Slippery noodle.
Yeah, basically, literally. It was built fully from mob money, and so Al Capone, it was one of his little stops. It was one of his little boppers. There was a specific area in this building that mobsters used to take troublemakers, and they would torture and ultimately usually kill people, and this was in the basement. So the basement had a lot of like dark history, obviously, to it. The building had a lot of special features, including in the basement, it had secret tunnels, 3 tunnels that would, one went to a mausoleum, one went to the woods in the back, and one went to a mob-owned ballroom across the street, but it like went underground, basically.
Choose your own adventure, huh?
Literally. And oh my god, I skipped a page. I like wrote my notes and I like flipped it up and there was nothing on the next page and I was like, Tamara? Something happened. That I would have actually died. So yeah, the dance hall, and it was a full casino in the basement. The other floors, including the attic, all had secret hallways and secret staircases and different like openings and false walls and even a false ceiling that led to secret rooms. So it was a pretty crazy place. So that's basically like the history of the building. It obviously went through a lot of hands, as I said, had a lot of different businesses there, and then currently is open as that Irish pub. And so now I'm going to go through the deaths. Some of the gangsters who were often like fired by Al Capone would be murdered in that basement. Great.
Heard about that.
People who were to like break rules, either like gambling or like getting too rowdy or something, they were also often just like killed on sight. Like you had like 0 chances, you know? You really had to hold your liquor at this place. And then the killing and torture room in the basement was heavily used with the dirt floor, tunnels, and access to the mausoleum and woods. So it's said that there are likely many bodies buried just like all over the property.
Amazing.
Love that for them. And like a notable event that happened there is a bartender fell in love with one of the prostitutes, and she was considered taken by a ruthless gangster. And so the bartender was like attacked as he was going down the stairs and was brutally murdered. The gangster broke his neck, and then he beat the girl to death and buried them both in the dirt floor in the basement.
What the fuck? That was disgusting and nasty. One thing about you, you're gonna pick a fucking gangster-related, fucking scary mob-related shit.
Literally not on purpose. Only in the way that you pick Scary Cemetery.
Like, not on purpose at all. I literally didn't know. You see something called, like, Bachelor's Grove, and I'm like, okay, this will be a nice... I, like, went out of my way to pick a mild one.
Well, you did a terrible job.
I know.
Okay, so those are pretty much the deaths. Then I'll get into the ghosts that people see. And this is all off of hauntedhouses.com. Shout out to them. Shout out to you for finding it. So, the first thing that people... These are accounts. Most of them are just, like, accounts that a lot of people have. So, in the upstairs office rooms that used to be the brothel, people report areas feeling extremely hot. So, instead of, like... Yeah, so instead of, like, cold spots, they're, like, hot spots.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's like at Shred.
Yeah. Ew, I can't think about that. And having strong odors appear out of nowhere and then just disappear.
Hate that.
People sometimes feel these hot spots, like, actually on their skin. This one, like, investigator group kept feeling it as if someone, like, was burning their face.
No. The touching.
And then a lot of investigators have gotten photos with unexplained light phenomenons in different areas of the rooms upstairs, usually, like, almost like making their way across the room. Yuck. Another thing people commonly find is in the second floor, same area, in the hallway, people have felt an aggressive male presence go straight through them. Like, walk straight through them.
You'd have to resuscitate me. Full rigor.
And employees have seen a shadowy man in an overcoat going up and down the basement stairs. Gross. In the basement,
Ugh.
owners and staff and investigators all report feeling extremely uneasy when being in a basement, and most people have not been able to be down there for more than a few minutes at a time. Yeah, including, like, investigators, including owners.
Gag.
An EVP was caught in the basement by an investigator. They asked, "Did something happen to you here?" And a female voice responds, "Beneath the floor."
Oh my God, no.
And everyone has described walking on that floor as the grossest thing in the world. They describe it as oily. They describe it as, like, almost like walking on bone fragments. And
is this a joke?
No. They say it's like walking on fresh, moving, oily dirt. So, like, walking uphill in sand. Yeah.
And people are going here for fun? For free?
Yeah. Yeah, other people have described it as, like, walking on a freshly buried grave. Or a freshly, like, dug grave.
Sick. That's my favorite, I think.
There is, in the basement, an investigation team, along with catching that audio. They have a video of a shadow, and it was caught slinking by the boiler in the basement, and then it disappears a moment later. We love slinking.
You hate slinking.
I hate slinking. I will not be subscribing to that. Thank you. And then the last ghost, the only ghost that's, like, other than the shadow and stuff, like, there is a ghost of, people think, a murdered prostitute.
Oh, no.
And she travels all over the building. Like, she goes everywhere. You see her everywhere. And people have seen her bloodied and beaten face in the reflection of mirrors in different bathrooms throughout
No.
the building.
I can't do... So, okay, so there's mine. The reflection, hell no.
Yeah.
Like, the one the other day when we read about, like, the mirror and the rattling in the frame.
Yeah. Yeah. Cold spots can be felt whenever she's around, so she's not the person making people, like, warm. And the owner of Rico D's had an experience where he said that she appeared in front of him and was talking about the updates that were being made to the building and how she liked them.
Wow.
Yeah. See, I ended it on a nice note.
It was a nice little note. Let's see, how far apart are they?
How far apart are who?
Oh, Henry's and
Ew,
Bachelor
I don't
Grove.
know.
Do a little map.
No, I'm not going to do that. I don't want Bachelor Grove anywhere near my search history. I shan't. So Willow is 20 miles south of Chicago. I know Tinley is a little bit south of Chicago, so they're probably pretty close. Do it. I'm not doing it. I shan't do it.
We gotta go to Bachelor's Grove.
I cannot go to Bachelor's Grove.
We've gone to Potato Creek. We went to Potato Creek. We spent the night there.
Yeah, and we had a pretty scary experience, I'd say.
I would also say that. So maybe not at night. We don't have to go to Bachelor Grove at night.
Definitely not at night. Also, the parking isn't there, and so then I'm not walking 1.5 miles into the woods to then have to run out. Ugh. So that was O. Henry's Roadhouse. And also Bachelor Grove Cemetery. And if you guys want to visit and go see them, y'all can let me know how it goes and email in at ghoulbeanspodcast@gmail.com, because I'm not going, so I'll live vicariously through you on that one.
So, like, we're gonna go. So if you go at night, please let us know what's going on. If it's, like, chill, if it's spooky spooks.
If you see these, like, floating figures zooting around.
A man in a wide brim hat.
A house. Not me. You won't see me there. That's what you're not gonna see.
Kelley's gonna be safely on the trail.
Kelley's,
although
that's
you
not
get brave
safe.
on location.
I do get brave on location.
Did you get
what? No. What happened?
Nothing. You get brave on location. When you get to the place, you're like, nah, this is fine. And then you feel better, and then some scary shit happens, and now we're crying.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, if you can get me there, but I don't think you can.
I feel like it's so fresh that we went to Potato Creek, so now I'm like, oh god, I gotta go back to the fucking woods.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to the woods. Like, let's go on a ghost tour somewhere where someone else is there guiding us, telling us what's happening.
That's not
like,
why we have the pod, Queen.
That's fair. Not there. Not there.
Let's go to the Chain of Lakes mansion. The Whispering
What'd you
Wings
say?
mansion.
Ugh, I don't know. I don't want to go there either. Maybe we can send Matt and Luce.
No.
Investigate for us.
They're gonna come back and be like, we had a great time. We like made friends with this one lady who was looking for her baby.
We helped her find her. This guy was really tall. It was like almost like he was floating, but
There's these hooded figures guarding the gate, but other than that, like, it was so relaxed.
And honestly, when I thought about it, it made sense because, like, it is, night in a cemetery, so I don't know.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have any locations that you want us to check out, please email at ghoulbeanspodcast@gmail.com or DM us at ghoulbeanspodcast on Instagram. And just please send in your stories. Go visit these places. Tell us. I'm not going.
Cut to us going.
Thanks for joining and spilling
the Ghoul Bean.